Coming at you not live in a single room apartment with the camera facing the back wall because the rest of the house is a fucking mess, and definitely also behind this shitty stock image of a curtain is your host. Ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow creatures of the void, please welcome your host, the Californian soul, the bass player extraordinaire, the Pete Gay autistic kid on that king shit, Floof the Bassist.
Oh, hey. Yeah, it's me. Welcome everybody to the final video of the year. I plan to release this somewhere in the 20s of December. Like, if I could help it, December 20th. Be a good day. Maybe the 21st. And this is the Floofies. This is the award ceremony. This is an idea that has sprung up in my head ever since Bully told me that I should do a top 3, bottom 3. And I'm like, well, there's much more to talk about than just the absolute best and the absolute worst of the year. So I have created this. Welcome to the Floofies, everybody. We got a good show for you tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful time. Let's get started with our first category, shall we? Our first category is going to be the Dark Horse Award. This award is given to a bass that I thought would be complete and utter garbage, just very low expectations, and well exceeded them to the point where I would say that they are a good instrument. They don't have to be a good value. They don't have to be like a good, overall, best product of the year kind of thing. But it bumped it up from this would have been a bottom 3 to it's all right. It's pretty good. It's all right. I wouldn't mind having one. Would I buy it? It's up in the air. But if I had my hands on one, I'd be happy with that. And the winner of this one is... There's no envelope. I have them all written down here on the iPad. I couldn't afford an envelope, unfortunately, the job loss and everything, but I start soon, so got a new job. We're good. Anyway, this one goes to the Fender Gold Foil Jazz Bass. Give it up for the Fender Gold Foil. Oh, wonderful job. Yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised after seeing the QC issues that this thing had, the actual saga that Lobster put on their channel about, fixing the out-of-a-line bridge and plecking it and making it like this god-tier instrument. The instrument that I got in my hands still had its issues. There were some scuffs on the binding, and for what I think is a $1,300 instrument, that's just unacceptable QC. But as a player and as how it sounded, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't have high expectations for it going in. I, as a matter of fact, wanted to play it because I thought I'd get a good laugh out of it, and I ended up liking it quite a bit. If you're a fan of Bully Stream, you've heard me talk about this a little bit more, in depth on that adventure. But for the sake of, I have 10 fucking categories. We're gonna move on. Category number 2 is the broke bass's best friend. I chose this category to be put in a under a price point. I chose $500. I think that's a little high, but I think for now I'll stick with it. Let me know in the comments if you think that I should lower the bar a bit. But I wanted to keep the price point low. Under $500 seemed like a good good balance of that. Like a nice, decently affordable bass that would still be pretty good quality. I'm looking at Glary. And after trying a slew of different basses in this category, there was one real clear winner to me. And the winner is, drumroll please. I'm still looking at it. Is the Squier Supersonic series. I really do think that I'm going to say precisely the. I'm going to say for the category, it's going to be the Squier Sonic Precision Bass, because I think that gives you the most bass for the least amount of money, and it's all pretty good quality stuff right out of the box. I've tried a few of these now, and none of them have been super poorly set up or they're egregious QC issues. They're plain and simple, the back of the finish on the back of the neck's pretty raw, but overall I think these are good instruments and they're a very good value for money. So congratulations to Fender Squier for winning this category. So far they're 2 for 2. Our next category goes to the best mod platform, and I'm gonna be a little biased on this one. If you know, you know. I thought this one should go to a mod platform that I think is both affordable and fun, because I wouldn't consider a $2,000 bass to be a good mod platform. You kind of pay $2,000 for it to be a good instrument out of the box. So again, aiming for that lower price point, but the appeal is a lot more of you could kind of play around with it, throw some parts into it, and really not give a fuck, throw it down the stairs even. And for that, there is no other contender for this other than, drumroll please, Squire Bronco. It's the Squire Bronco. Like, dude, you literally could drill a hole in this thing. Drill a hole going through it and put this massive pickup in it and not give a fuck. They are cheap, they are disposable, you could find them used for giga cheap. You could find them brand new with the Squire Sonic series in great condition for not very expensive. Put really good parts into it and it's a fantastic bass. Obviously I have mine and I'm very biased on this subject. Mine is an 09 with a Curtis Novak Music Master pickup in it and I think it's a glorious player. I've actually been tempted to use it on stage a few times. Although it's never seen the stage yet, I think that'll change very soon. On to our next category. This is a good one. The banger for the buck category. This is given to a manufacturer whose overall purpose is giving you the most instrument for the least amount of money. It doesn't have to be cheap, but it has to be like a very high quality instrument for a very affordable price. For those of you who have seen my channel, you might already know what this winner is. It's one that I've wanted to get my hands on. I've tried a few, and I think they're all fantastic. Of course, the winner is... again, no envelope, but it's Sire. Sire, the company. You've done a wonderful job, Marcus Miller. Thank you so much for giving us like such fantastic basses at such a great price point. With the V3, the V5, the P5, I want to get my hands on at some point. And even their higher end ones are like incredibly high quality, borderline like custom level basses for not a lot of money considering actually the amount of work that goes into them. So I think Sire is definitely deserving of this category this year. I'm hoping that'll change next year and hoping that some other company will step right the fuck up and take the spot. But as of right now, Sire is a clear winner here. Going on the exact opposite of the broke bass's best friend is we have the worth every penny category. Now this is an instrument that I think is over $1,500. So $1,500 and up. $1,500 is the lowest price this instrument can be. And I think that it's just a bass that if you buy it, you're not regretting it. You're probably not going to sell it for how good the instrument is. It could be a company, but I tried to track it down to like one specific bass who makes really high quality, it's like a super high quality bass, and it's not a lot of money considering. I've tried a couple of these this year at my old job, and I think that this bass is just easy, clear, pure headroom winner, especially after trying things like many other made in the USA high-class instruments. This is made in the USA, but the winner is, from Fullerton, California, the G&L M2500. I never thought I'd like a 5-string until I let this category open up. And I didn't think a 5-string would be on here on this list at all in any of the categories. But the M2500 really struck a chord with me for being just a very high-class, high-quality instrument that's very customizable from the G&L Fullerton factory. You can get a Fullerton, and like even the like Fullerton Deluxe series that G&L has is very good. And they are expensive, but as this category is called, it's worth every damn penny. This is a good one. This is where I get to rant a little bit. I had to bring some stuff that was just turbo mid to the show. So this is the most disappointing basses of the year. I have a tie, but it really because they come down in the same line. I put them in the like same winners category because they're part of the same series of instruments. This is given to a bass, or basses in this case, that I think I had like really decent or high standards for, and just didn't care for walking out of. And for that, the winner is... I'm faking a drum roll. The Ventera 2 series, I've tried a 50s Precision and a 60s Jazz, but really the Ventera 2 line as a whole, didn't really win me over real hard. I went in thinking like this thing is going to be the cat's pajamas of like vintage feel and tone, and it nailed the feel, but the tone just didn't feel right. This is at a Guitar Center. The setup wasn't fantastic, so that might not have helped. But also the gold foil was at that same Guitar Center, so you know, like, it kind of sucks to give this one the thing because I was so excited for it. I want to try more things in the Ventera line sometime next year. But for now, it takes the cake as the most disappointing line of instruments this year. Just most disappointing bass, period, that I've tried. And that kind of sucks. So Fender Made in Mexico should really step up their game outside of the Player Series, because I think the Player Series is like a genuine knockout of the park. But Sono Jono's had problems with the limited edition stuff, and, you know, we've seen the absolute tragedy that was the Gold Foil series. Series as in there's one bass, but the Gold Foil jazz bass. And now the Ventera 2 stuff, it just kind of exists, and it's at a really high price point. It's not really winning me over. So I really hope that next year is like a year where Fender Made in Mexico really makes a comeback in like a quality standpoint. Ooh boy. Yeah. No, this is the only bass on the category list I didn't play, but like I don't think I needed to, and I kind of didn't want to. This award is called the You Missed April Fool's Day Award. It's a bass that is not only dog shit, it's expensive and dog shit, and it's borderline a scam. It's not worst bass of the year level of... No, it is worst bass of the year level of bad, but I wanted to put it in its own category so we could point and laugh at it, because this was just a joke of an instrument. And the winner is, there's no contest. Sono Jono told us everything. It's the Mike Kerr bass. Like, that thing fucking blew. I was listening to that demo, and I've just listened to demos, and they all happen to be so consistent across the board. The neck pickup super overpowered, the bridge pickup super underpowered, and usually it's been misaligned in the past. It suffers from all of these dumb problems, and it comes at a borderline USA price? Like, that tiger print gig bag is not going to win me over. And the bass looks fantastic. The orange and the gold look excellent. But the bass does not play like a bass. It goes into a one trick, but not in the one trick way that a P bass makes cool. It goes into a one trick as in you're a Supreme Royal Blood fan, or you don't buy this bass. It really just comes down to that. I think the bass is a joke. I think it's really funny that they put that high of a price point at it and that people still bought it. I hope that the people that did buy it liked it. I think it was a fucking stupid idea. All right. We come down to the end of the show. We've got the worst, and then we got the best now. And we have one in between. So we're about 7 categories deep right now. This is category number 8. I'm going to make it the worst first. We're going to go to Floof's Pick of the Year, which is my own personal taste, my own personal winner. Something that I've tried in the year that I have like anticipated to be good and lives up to the hype. And then our last category is, of course, the best overall. The worst overall for him, though, is a bass that I played in this year, the year of our Lord, 2023, that I think was so terrible, so absolutely god-awful to play, that, like, buying it would be a national tragedy. We're going to go over some of the runner-ups first. The bottom 3 runner-ups. The Fender Limited Edition Player Precision Bass, the British Racing Green one with the Seymour Duncan quarter pounder. I feel like if you're going to put a quarter pounder in a P bass, you got to pay me to play it, because I really don't like the way the quarter pounder sounds. But that one's too much of a personal preference, so that one couldn't win. Ooh, nearly dropped the winner sheet. Next runner-up is actually one that might surprise you, but it's the Fender Made in Mexico Geddy Lee Signature Jazz Bass. It comes from a value standpoint, man. Like, I think it's a cool bass. I think it's a good bass. I just don't think it's that good of a bass. It probably would sit more in, like, this is a bad value or most disappointing, though, so I couldn't put it as worst overall. And it just wasn't enough of either of the other categories to really win me over in those categories either. The Fender American Performer Mustang bass. It's the one with the jazz pickup and the bridge that, unironically, is a better pickup than the one in the neck. There's been one at my local Guitar Center for a while, and it's probably going to stay there. It's just a bass with a weird niche, and its weird niche doesn't sound that good. It almost won. This one, I think, would have taken 3rd place if first and second I didn't get to play this year or just didn't exist. Speaking of 2nd place, it's the Orange O bass. I was watching AMP's video on this, and I saw it, and I went, oh, that looks like a short scale. And recently a local shop in town had one, and I was like, oh my god, I finally get to play one of these. I wonder if it's as bad as it is. Yes, it is. It's a long scale instrument with a very small body. You could already see where the problem begins. It's super neck heavy. It's uncomfortable to play. It suffers from the Thunderbird issue of where you're trying to reach for the first fret and it feels like you're going into eternity. It's not a good bass, and it would have won. It would have won if not for our #1 worst overall. If you've watched this channel before, you already know what it is. It's in the living room, and I'm too fucked to go grab it. I don't want to bother. It's such a terrible instrument. Ladies and gentlemen, the worst bass of the year is the Glary G-Jazz 2. Never in my life have I played something that made me think, like, wow, I really hate capitalism. Like, there are basses I think are just a bad value for money. But I also understand that making a bass, even in these factories that mass produce them, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, you gotta pay the workers, you gotta pay all this other stuff. So never in my life would I ever have something that felt so undercut, with corners cut so hard that it's a circle, that I would hate capitalism as much as I already do. And the Glary was just a stunning reminder about that. It is such an egregious piece of shit. It's not very playable. It's unintuitive to play. It sucks to play. It's aimed at beginners who you want to have something that's good to play to begin with. Oh my god. I think it's a great joke for $100. It's like $150. But like, as a oh god, it is nothing better than that. I can't even think of words to describe how fucking terrible it is, other than it's garbage, and I'd put it in the dumpster out there if I didn't need money so desperately. I'm just gonna fucking sell it. Thank god. This next category is my personal favorite because it's talking about my personal favorite. Yeah, you know, if I run this channel, I get to make the categories, I get to do whatever the fuck I want. This is something that I don't think won overall, but it won my heart overall. It was something that I looked forward to playing this year. It was something that I finally got to play last month. And it was something that, you know, if money were no object, I would buy this bass tomorrow. And the winner for this category is the Fender JMJ Mustang bass. The road-worn one. The road-worn Mustang is what it pretty much is. You might know bassist and fellow YouTuber Philip Conrad, which if you're watching this, hi. He mains this instrument, and I finally got to play one last month, and I understood why. I borderline wanted to buy it just so I could main this instrument. I think that out of the like signature basses that Mexico is making, the JMJ Mustang bass is hands down the best one that you can buy. It comes with flats straight out of the box. It's super vibey. It's old school. The pickups are wound. I think they're Seymour Duncans, if I recall correctly. And they're wound to be like just super fat and just meaty on the low end, kind of on the low end part of the spectrum. I think it's such an excellently made bass that, like, if you have like $1,000 lying around, first of all, wow, congrats. I hope you're successful or something. But if you got like $1,000 lying around, burning a hole in your pocket, and you want to try something new, something fresh, something a little funky and off the beaten path, I think the JMJ Mustang is actually just the ticket. Comes in like a nice faded Daphne blue and a like road-worn black. I'm more partial to the Daphne blue one. That's the one that I tried. I was very happy with how the color looked, how the road-worn look, like the relicking looked. I was just super happy with this bass when I put it in my hands. But to me, it takes a little bit more than that to win best overall. So like this category exists for me and one that I was personally excited for. Of course, we need to talk about the best overall. My Californian heart and soul, my musician Californian heart and soul, must give the crown to a bass that truly deserves it. This is the crown of Californian pride. And I'm going to give it to a bass that I think truly deserves to win this category. It's probably out of frame. We're gonna put it here. Perfect. That is the crown that this last one will win, because this was the best bass, hands down, overall of 2023. It had to be a bass that either was hyped and lived up to it, or was like completely like dark horsed and just lived up to its expectations. It had to be the best bang for the buck. It had to be a combination of like 4 or 5 different categories in this for me to consider it to be the best bass of the year. But let's go over the runner-ups, shall we? Out of ones that I personally got to put my hands on, I think the Sterling SUB basses are fantastic. But, you know, there are just some parts that I think like, this could be a little bit better, like the preamp just coming out of the box. I think that they're great bang for the buck, but they're not like bass of the year category. The Epiphone Embassy, a little bit of a dark horse, almost the winner of the dark horse category, but I think it actually provided a little bit more in terms of value. It didn't just surprise me, it exceeded my expectations and really brought to life how good the sound of Thunderbird pickups can be without all the problems of the Thunderbird. Highly recommend, but it just came a little short. Like, felt like the Embassy was missing some spice that, like other basses on the market don't have. It probably is a good third place to me. In second place, and it pains me to say this because this was the absolute winner up until then, is my most viewed video on this channel, and it's the Epiphone Jack Cassidy that I sold and miss dearly. I think that these older Jack Cassidys are fantastic. I think the newer ones are still really good. It's a bass that, you can go out and buy right now, and on the used market, they usually run for $500-600. I think I paid $550 for mine, and they're just nice playing, well made, well designed, like good feeling instruments. Mine suffered from electronic issues, but mine's from 2004. Some of the more modern ones that I've tried and played have felt really good out of the box. I think it goes great with flats, but like, there was one bass that I was hyped about. I wanted to play, and I finally got to try it, and I instantly knew that it was my bass of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, one final time, give me one final drum roll. The winner of the Californian Pride, my Californian heart and soul bass of the year 2023, is none other than the Squire Rascal. I think the Paranormal series was such a grand slam, and the fact that they leaned back into it after doing the 51 like tele jazz bass thing that they did, the fact that they went back into it and made the Rascal, it was like, yes, finally, Fender is doing something new, something fresh in the design department, and something fun again. It really did feel like that it was a bass that truly exceeded like everything that Fender usually does, and it goes beyond that, and it's fun to play. It has good tones, fresh out of the box. They're set up well. It comes in good colors. It's an attractive beginner bass to me. And it's at a great price point of like $400 and under $450, somewhere in that ballpark. This thing ticks all the boxes. It was hyped. It lived up to it. It did everything right. And for me, there is no better winner in my mind than the Squire Rascal. Congratulations, Fender Squire. This is a very well-earned piece of Californian heart and soul. And I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys doing that. And what I want to see more of out of next year is just more leaning into that, more going outside of the P&J thing. Like, let's start getting weird again. Like, let's go back to the 80s where they had the Elite Precision with 2 P-bass pickups and one was slammed against the bridge. Like, let's do some weird stuff again. And I hope that the success of the Squire Rascal is a good sign of that you guys can do this, have the market share to do this, and with Squire as a brand can do it without any real fault. So yeah, well deserved, well done, and that's it. Man, we're done. We're done. That's the year. That's a wrap, baby. And shit, man, I don't know what else to say. I wanted this to be the last video of the year, obviously, because it's, the award ceremony of best worst of 2023, blah, blah, blah. But, dude, I'm happy. I'm happy about this. I'm happy this came out this way. I wanted it to be something special. I wanted it to be fun. And I'm super thankful for you guys over this year. Because this channel has really grown to be something that I really want to keep pushing the envelope for and keep pursuing. I'm just shy of 200 subscribers as we speak. I don't know how far this will take me. after this video gets announced. It might flop, and I don't really care about that, because what I enjoy doing out of this is the fun of it. I love getting in front of a camera and performing. This bow tie I use with my junior recital, which I plan to have as soon as I get the video for, to chop down, edit, and give out to you guys. And like, just, you'll see how much I love performing through that. I am a performer at heart, and I guess I always have been. And it took me so long for me to realize that. And this channel is just an extension of that. I get to talk about what I love, and through like job loss and relationship changes and moving and all of that, I still feel like that there's something in me that keeps wanting to make this as like a personal art. And for you guys for watching that, I want to say thank you. I'm thinking about doing some moves next year. I would like to see obviously the main goal is to get this channel up to 1,000 subs. I would like to open up a Patreon at some point, but I'm going to leave that to you guys. I truly don't know what I would be able to give you. It might just have a really low price point or something like that, but it's going to be interesting. And it'll take a lot of thought. But I guess overall I just want to say thank you, everybody. My name is Floof. This has been the Floofies, and I hope to see you all real soon. Later.
That's a wrap.